When I was but a child, I didn't know if I was religious or not. I never really gave any thought to it. I wasn't in a particularly religious school, but you know, we sung hymns and occasionally we said a prayer in assembly, and I went along with all this without really thinking too much about it. And only when I stumbled upon the idea of atheism when I was about 12, 13, something like that, did I realise that that's what I was, and that made sense to me. However, now looking back on some of the stuff that I just went along with for the sake of it when I was a child because I didn't really understand it, I am filled with disdain and dislike. And when I recall some of the hymns that me and my fellow students were instructed to sing, I realise that some of them are quite tyrannical and scary, and some other ones are just plain stupid. These are pretty popular hymns and you'll most likely recognise them. We begin with, "When a knight won his spurs in the stories of old, he was gentle and brave, he was gallant and bold." Now, brave and gallant, there's no problems here, those two are perfectly compatible, but have you ever tried to be gentle and bold at the same time? This is gentle. "Don't worry, Mrs. Crisp. We'll get your baby back." And this is bold.
"Don't worry, Mrs. Crisp. We'll get your baby back."
This is what happens when you try to display both of these emotions at the same time. "Don't worry, Mrs. Stevens, and we'll get your baby back." The third verse of this excellent hymn reads, "So let faith be my shield, and let hope be my steed." Let faith be my shield? Yeah, your shield to logic and reason. Let hope be my steed? Yeah, your steed to riding into a ditch filled with stuff. And let me set free with the sword of my youth. Am I the only one who finds the phrase, "the sword of my youth," slightly suggestive? That's right, the penis! From the castle of darkness, the power of the truth. Surely the truth is the last thing any religious person wants to stumble across, let alone risk their lives trying to obtain. What they want is a bunch of made-up stories to make them feel good about themselves. I'm going to move on to a different hymn now, one that I should think all of you will know, and it's called "The Lord of the Dance." I danced in the morning when the world was begun. I danced in the moon and the stars and the sun. I came down from heaven and I danced on earth. So Jesus is doing a little bit of dancing here, and that's fine, you know, dancing's a nice way to express yourself if that's what you want to do. The second verse is, "I danced for the scribe and the Pharisee, but they would not dance, and they wouldn't follow me. I danced for the fishermen, for James and John. They came with me and the dance went on." Okay, maybe there's quite a lot of dancing going on here, more than you would think is necessary. Fourth verse now. "I danced on a Friday when the sky turned black. It's hard to dance with the devil on your back. They buried my body and they thought I'd gone, but I am the dance and I still go on." Jesus, my baby, he is dying. "Sorry, can't help you right now, I'm just doing some dancing." Final verse then. "They cut me down and I leapt up high. I am the life that'll never, never die." Jesus Christ, would you stop dancing for 1 second so I can talk to you? If this is what Jesus was actually like in his time, I'm surprised he wasn't crucified several years sooner than he allegedly was. I mean, he would just be the most annoying, infuriating person in any town if this is how he behaved. "Come on, Mr. Scribe, come and dance with me." Jesus, I have to get these files to the CEO of Nazareth by the end of the week. "Oh, you're just a hell-bound heretic for not dancing with Jesus." And when they buried Jesus' body and then he came back a few days later, were the majority of the townspeople just like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, who let that guy out? He's gonna be dancing all over the place." There are many more ridiculous hymns to look into, but I will save those for another time. I'm the Liberty Lion. Please favourite this video, 5-star rate it and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching and goodbye.